In the heart of a city where life moved at the speed of light, and louder voices, faster steps, and colder gazes were signs of success, lived a boy named Noah. He was not weak, nor incapable, nor untalented. On the contrary, he had a sharp mind, a heart full of emotion, and a soul filled with aspirations. But in a world that screamed, "See me! Hear me!" Noah was always silent, someone who disappeared in crowds, whose voice was lost in meetings, and whose gaze was always fixed on the ground. He was made of silence, not the silence of tranquility, but the silence born of fear. Fear of judgment, fear of being overlooked, fear that perhaps he wasn't enough. One rainy night, Noah sat in his small room, tired from another day of being unseen, unheard. He was flipping through old books that sometimes gave him refuge. From one of those books, a paper fell out, dusty and yellowed. On it was written, "Charisma isn't magic. It's presence, it's power, and it's warmth." Noah stared for a few moments. Charisma? He had heard this word many times. Those who, without saying much, made everyone listen to them. Those who, when they entered a room, changed the atmosphere. Those who, without trying, made an impact. He had always thought these qualities were innate. But now this sentence said charisma could be learned. This sentence was the beginning of Noah's journey. A journey from within to within. Not to become someone else, but to unleash the light that had been extinguished within him for years. From the next day, Noah decided to take the first step, presence. He realized that the most charismatic people, more than anything, lived in the moment. That is, when they talked to someone, it was as if the world stopped and only that person existed for them. Noah began to practice this art. In cafes, when he spoke to the attendant, he put his phone aside. When a friend talked to him, he no longer thought about what to say next. He just listened. He just was. The results were astonishing. People smiled, eyes warmed. For the first time, others also felt his presence. But presence alone was not enough. He had to learn to express his inner power without shouting. At university, a professor named Elena noticed his changes. One day, she invited him to her office. After a short conversation, she said, "Noah, charisma means you don't have to speak loudly to be heard. True power is quiet, because it comes from within." Elena taught him things that were never taught in classes. Body language, how to sit straight without being stiff, how to make eye contact without being aggressive, how to speak, pause, smile. She even changed the way he walked, with slow but confident steps. Noah practiced. Days and nights he stood in front of the mirror. He recorded his voice. He practiced smiling. He even learned how to be silent. Not silence from fear, but silence from power. As weeks passed, those around him no longer saw him as the same Noah. He was now calm, but his presence was heavy and tangible. He was no longer afraid of being seen, because now he saw himself. He believed in himself. But the last piece of the puzzle remained. Warmth. One day, while he was at a charity helping children, he met a little girl who was crying. No words could stop her tears, but Noah just sat beside her, smiled and held her hand. Without words, just with presence, power, and warmth. The girl calmed down. That night, Noah realized that charisma was more than just display and power. Charisma means being human, with all its light and softness. Noah was no longer the shy boy. In meetings, others listened to him. In gatherings, everyone sought his gaze and opinion. But he neither shouted nor wore a mask. He was just himself. Himself, but better. He now knew that charisma meant being in the moment, having power without force, and giving warmth without expectation. And that is what the world thirsts for.